Hi guys, my name is Nonima Tikela. Welcome to my YouTube channel. So today I want us to talk about the state hid the handcuffs and expected the court to believe the paper. Senzo Meyiwa trial. That's what we are going to talk about on this video. Before we do that, guys, please make sure you do not forget to like, to share, to comment. And most importantly, please make sure you are subscribed on the channel. Please make sure you are watching the videos up until the end and you are watching the ads that are coming through. When you are doing that, you will be supporting this channel financially and in numbers. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you. Now, let's get into this situation. Every criminal trial rests on one sacred principle. The state must tell the whole truth. Not the convenient truth, not the polished truth, not the version that survives cross-examination, the whole truth. Because once the state starts choosing which facts to disclose, the trial stops being a search for justice and becomes a performance. And today we expose one of the most disturbing performances in this entire Senzo Meyiwa matter. The scandal, the court scandal that we are talking about. Brigadier Bongani Geninda, the investigating officer in the Senzo Meyiwa matter trial, repeatedly referred to Gwabini as a critical link in his investigation. Repeatedly. Let that sink in. He spoke about what Gwabini said, what Gwabini confirmed, what Gwabini said, what Gwabini confirmed, how Gwabini supposedly advanced the state's theory. But there is one exclusive fact the state never disclosed to the courts. Never. Gwabini was arrested. We've never heard of that. Let that sink in. It was never said. No one spoke about it. No, not interviewed voluntarily, not approached as a free witness, arrested. Arrested. Get that. Let it sink in. Handcuffs, custody, state power, and yet when the statement was presented, the court was shown only paper. They speak about the paper when they spoke about Gwabini. They speak about the statement that Gwabini made. That's what they kept referring to. Gwabini made a statement, only papers, not the arrest, not the coercive context, not the power imbalance, just words. That is what Geninda did in that courtroom. For years, he said it in 2023, 2024, even 2025, he said it. Do you understand why this is not a small detail? This is where the state hopes the public won't notice, but the law notices. Once a person is arrested, the psychological pressure changes, the legal safeguards escalate, the voluntariness of any statement becomes central. You cannot assess a statement without knowing how it was obtained. A statement does not exist in a vacuum. It is born in a situation. And the state deliberately removed that situation from view. This is selective disclosure. And it's not just a selective disclosure, the constitutional breach. That is what it is. South Africa's constitution is crystal clear. Section 35 guarantees the right to a fair trial, the right to challenge evidence, the right to full and proper disclosure. By hiding the arrest, the defense was denied the full context. The court was misled about voluntariness. They were not told. They were in fact told that Gwabini volunteered to give that information. The evidential balance was distorted. This is not neutral conduct. This is procedural contamination. And the CPA does not allow this. Under the Criminal Procedure Act, statements made under arrest require strict scrutiny. The state carries the burden to prove Uguti, someone made the statement freely, willingly. They need to prove that. Surrounding circumstances must be disclosed. You cannot surgically remove the arrest and pretend the statement still stands untouched. Once you hid material facts, the entire exhibit becomes suspicious. Now, ask yourself this. Why disclose the statement but hide the arrest? Because the arrest raises questions. Was pressure applied? Was inducement offered? Was cooperation extracted to avoid consequences? Those are not defense fantasies. They are legal realities. They are legal realities. And Gininda knew that. He knows about it. That is why the handcuffs were hidden. He actually thought Gwabini will never set his foot in that courtroom, didn't he? And now Gininda's credibility begins to fracture. When it comes to that, in fact, he didn't have credibility to begin with because of everything that has happened and been said in that courtroom. His credibility has been questionable all along. This is not an isolated incident. Look at the pattern. Witnesses elevated but never called. Statements referenced without full context. Critical facts surfacing only under cross-examination. The court was repeatedly asked to trust Gininda, and the court's reverence for Gininda, well, the reverence that Judge Wata shows Gininda, well, I tell you, Sanalam, oh, I tell you, you can't tell me anything about the reverence Gininda receives from that courtroom. You can never. And the court, okay, instead of interrogating the investigation, the court was repeatedly asked to trust Gininda instead of interrogating the investigation. But trust is not evidence, and credibility does not survive curated truth. It will never survive it, guys. When an investigator becomes a storyteller, at this point, Gininda stops being an investigator and becomes a narrator, choosing what the court may see, what the defense may challenge, what remains hidden. That is not policing. That is case construction. And once the investigator starts constructing narratives instead of disclosing facts, the foundation collapses. The domino effect. If the arrest was hidden here, what else was filtered? If the context was removed once, how often was it removed? If the court was misled on this, what confidence remains in the rest of the investigation, the rest of the witnesses, the rest of the case? Credibility does not fail in pieces. It fails as a whole. This is why the state case is in danger, because modern criminal trials do not collapse only on innocence. They collapse on process. And when the disclosure is selective, context is suppressed, power is concealed. The law does not ask whether the accused might be guilty. It asks whether the trial was fair. And an unfair trial cannot produce a lawful conviction. Not the court, but history. The state hid the rest. It hid the pressure. It hid the truth. And then it asked the court to trust the paper. But in constitutional democracy, you do not get to hide the handcuffs and keep the statement. Once the line is crossed, the investigation is compromised, the credibility is broken, and the case begins to eat itself alive. This is no longer about Gwabini. This is about whether justice in South Africa still demands the whole truth, and only the parts that survive scrutiny. Because Gininda, guys. He failed dismally, that we can say. That we can say for sure that the country demands the whole truth, and only the parts that survive scrutiny. Now, we can't be about whether justice in South Africa still demands the whole truth or only it demands everything, the whole truth. So Keninda misleads the court when it comes to that. The pattern of concealment is not even child's play. We'll talk about that on our next video. What are your thoughts when it comes to this, guys? Let's talk. We comment section. I want to hear your views. Thank you so much. I will see you on our next video. Bye-bye.